This morning, I'm coming to you from atop Sulphur Mountain in Banff National Park, located in the beautiful province of Alberta, Canada. How glorious are God's fortresses in the Rocky Mountains. It makes me think of Isaiah chapter 55, verse 12. For ye shall go out with joy, and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Even the mighty mountains of the earth obey the commands of their Creator. Stay tuned. In this episode of Harvest, I will take you several thousand miles south to the Madeira Sky Islands of the northern Sierra Madre in the glorious state of Arizona, where a personal testimony based on the famous hymn, Trust and Obey, took place. Our scripture thought this morning is taken from Psalms 84:12 from the King James Version. O Lord of hosts, blessed is the man that trusts in you. This is the house that I lived in from second grade until I got married at the age of 22. Growing up, my father would always tell my brother and me that we must learn to trust him implicitly, which means without any questions. Why? Because one day our lives might depend upon it. To strengthen these lessons, my father would bring us up onto the roof of our house every year to winterize and prime our swamp cooler in the autumn. And then we would have to get it ready for the summer every spring. We would climb up to the top of the house with a ladder. And then when we were finished, my father would usually climb down the ladder first, and then take the ladder away, and then tell my brother and me to jump to him from the top of the roof of the house. And of course, I am petrified of heights. In summer, we would often go to Lake Apache, just outside of Phoenix, and we would camp and water ski. One afternoon, we parked our boat near a cliff, and my father asked if we would like to go for a hike with him along one of the ridges of the lake. And of course, we did. And in case you're wondering, yes, that's me water skiing. As we hiked along the ridge, I stepped too close to the edge of the cliff, and the ground underneath me gave way, and I quickly began sliding down the side of the cliff. What I could not see was that the lake was not directly underneath me. Instead, there was a jagged ledge crashed down on it. Calling my name in a voice that only fathers use when their children are in imminent danger, my father commanded me to grab a hold of the next bush I was passing. Now, the bushes I was sliding past were only two types. There was the Arizona thorny bush and the cholla cactus. In an instant, I had to make a decision. Do I trust my father and obey him, and thereby cause immense pain to my hands? Or do I disobey and discover consequences? The second stanza of the hymn we just sang, Trust and Obey, says, not a doubt nor a fear, not a sigh or a tear can abide while we trust and obey. Trust and obey, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus but to trust and obey. I knew the tone in my father's voice conveyed danger, and I had been taught to obey because my life may depend upon it. Immediately, I grabbed a hold of an Arizona thorny bush branch, wincing in agony as the thorns pressed into my hands. Then my father called out for me, "Hold on and don't move." Making his way slowly and carefully down the side of the cliff, my father reached me. Grabbing my wrists, he slowly dragged me back up the side of the cliff. My father then tended to my bloody legs and hands. As a parent myself, I look back on this story and wonder who was the more relieved that I am alive, my father or me. Oftentimes, God asks us to do things that just don't make sense. We simply have to trust. Just as I couldn't see what was coming, but my father could. God can see things you cannot. His ways are higher than your ways. His thoughts are higher than your thoughts. Simply trust and obey. And despite any momentary pain or grief that you will experience, you will know that in the end, all will be well with your soul. Please pray with me. Father, I know that obeying your voice the first time is a matter of life and death. Teach me to trust you. Help me today to daily grow so that when you call or ask me to do something, no matter how it appears to me in the moment, I can act without hesitation in obedience to you.
Thanks for watching. Please like and share, and don't forget to subscribe.